Welcome back, guys. This is the Bourbon Bear, Ryan Tiller, and on this episode, we are going to do the top 5 whiskeys that you should have at your home bar. Stay tuned for those bottles. Welcome back, everybody, to the Bear Cave. This is the Bourbon Bear, Ryan Tiller, here with the top 5 list I feel is very important to that of a new whiskey goer or somebody who has been in the whiskey game for quite a while here. It is the top 5 whiskeys or bourbons that I feel need to be on your at-home bar on a constant basis. But before we get into that, definitely give the channel a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. That notification bell will let you know when we do have brand new videos potentially go live and things like that. Utilize the comments as well. Let me know something that you would like to have. At the end of this video, you could definitely let me know what I could have changed up, what bottles you would have put in where I chose wrong in your eyes. Definitely let us know. As well as one more thing, as you can see, I'm sporting the Bourbon Bear official t-shirt. It is going to be linked in the description below this video. Definitely hit that up. Support the channel in many different ways there. Definitely do that for me. Thank you, guys. Again, thank you guys for watching. Do have a top 5 list here. We're going to go right into it here. Starting out with number 1, it is going to be a cocktail or a low proof sipper. With this this whole list, I like to try to keep it not allocated in any way. And I know for this first bottle, it did just come off of the allocation list in Missouri. So I definitely have a secondary pickup for it. But that first bottle is actually going to be the Simple Buffalo Trace. It is a very easy experience bottle. It's got these soft red fruit notes on it as a typical Buffalo Trace product would. It's a very, very steady price of when you should be able to get it. $25. I wouldn't go crazy over it. Actually, I went to Iowa this past weekend and they had this standard 750 milliliter bottle for $45. I'm like, I can go home and get that for 25. So definitely keep that around the $25 range. But this bottle is something I definitely use in a lot of cocktails. I use it to open up my nights when I'm drinking different pours. It helps acclimate the palate to bourbon or whiskey in general. It helps get that flavor profile started there for you. Like I said, it is allocated, so I do have a second choice bottle for that cocktail or low sipper. It's going to be my personal favorite, and I will never not have this around. It is going to be Wild Turkey 101. This bottle is one of the bottles that when I first started, I was like, I don't really like the spice level on it. I don't like something on it was not clashing with my palate very heavily when I first started in the whiskey journey. But these two are very, very good for opening a night of a little sipping. Helps acclimate the palate on both sides here. You've got an easier way of doing it, or you've got, say you're going to drink some rye. That's going to spice things up and get you ready for the rye for sure. But both of these are amazing in cocktails, whether you're wanting a simple old-fashioned, something nice to go with a little bonfire on the outside, or if you're wanting to spice up a Manhattan. You definitely got the pepper flavor. I say pepper, it's more like baking spice. You got the clove and everything, and then like I said, you've got the dark, or not dark, I wouldn't say dark on this, I'm sorry, but you've got the red fruit notes from Buffalo Trace there to help balance out an old-fashioned, make it a little bit sweeter on that side, or on that standpoint. So we're gonna move these bottles on out of the way over here, kind of keep them in eye shot. The next bottle that I feel is important on a suitable bar is going to be a rye, and that second bottle is my rye pick of many people as well. I do think that this is a very solid rye for introductory level, as well as just constantly having, just like with these two, it's a way to start a night as well. But that bottle is going to be Michter's Straight Rye. This is a very easy to drink rye from Michter's, who constantly puts out great products, whether it's the small, I should say lower end bottles that they produce, which in this case, this is one of their lower tier bottles. It's the straight rye, or it's their higher end stuff like the 10 years, even the 20 years in toasted barrels and barrel strengths. Michter's does a great job of keeping everything at a lower entry proof into the barrel, keeping the water out of the proofing it down, and keeping things nice and mellow. In this case, the straight rye is something that I feel like even a strong bourbon goer would easily be able to grasp and get into. When everybody is always asking me what rye should I try, if they haven't done a lot of ryes, the first one that I tell them to go for is the straight rye. This bottle comes in a little bit more than a $25 price range, like these two bottles, but this bottle comes in at a $45 bottle. While that is expensive, it is a rye, and I'm telling you, just spend a little bit, get this bottle. If you don't already have it, definitely go out and try it. But I will always keep this on my bar at home because it's an easy one. I love ryes, and I constantly am picking this up and going to it. I believe it's 84 proof. It definitely is very nice and welcoming to an avid bourbon / whiskey drinker and myself. Moving on, one thing that I feel like every bar should have is something at the full proof entry level. Kind of going off two different things here. I wanted to lean more towards budget friendly, even though this is $45 and these are $25. Budget friendly, when I think of foolproof, I think of something around the $50 to $60 range. And with that, the next bottle is going to be Green River Foolproof. Green River has done a lot of stuff since remarketing themselves, basically. They've produced many great recent bottles. They've even got the 250th 250th Army bottle over there, but they have amazing value. The value on this foolproof comes in at a $50 bottle for over 115 proof. I believe it's 118.1 proof. It is a great foolproof bottle for somebody who wants something more than a wild turkey. They want a little bit more oomph in that. It gives off a great palate with minor dark fruit notes as well. Something that I always love to go back to. This is probably like my fourth bottle of Green River Foolproof. It's just because that value for such a high proof is an amazing thing to keep there, as well as somebody who is coming over and is like, I want to try something a little spicier, or I want to try something that has more heat on it. I definitely go with this because it's going to drink like it doesn't, but it definitely does, if that makes sense. But it's just the whole reason for me putting foolproof instead of something different, because I did originally have Wild Turkey Rare Breed is two reasons. Rare Breed is very good and is over popular with a lot of the bourbon community, and I really feel like this is more of a value than Rare Breed is, in my opinion. And I do love Wild Turkey Rare Breed and the Wild Turkey lineup in general, but I feel like this is a better overall budgeted bottle for 2 proof points higher. So with that being said, one other bottle, or on to the next bottle, I should say, is I feel like everybody needs a finished whiskey of some sort, or in this case, it is a double oaked. It is not finished. It's barreled in a second barrel, hence the name double oaked. And let me get this out of the way here so we can put it on the main stable here. It is going to be Old Forester 1910. This is a bottle that I kind of fought back and forth between double oaked or I should say Woodford Reserve double oaked or Old Forester 1910, and I settled on Old Forester 1910 because of the brown sugar taste on the palate. It definitely gives more oomph of the brown sugar to me, in a lesser proof point, and this comes in at 93 proof. It's right there on the label for me. Easy. It's a very welcoming bottle to a new goer in the whiskey scene. A lot of double oaks are, because of that sweetness and everything else, and I feel like this bottle in particular just has a touch more sweetness than Woodford Reserve double oaked would. That's why I kind of went over and chose the Old Forester 1910 instead. A lot of people in the Old Forester lineup argue back and forth 1910, 1920. I tend to lean towards the 1910 because of that sweetness. I do love it over the smoky aspect of the 1920. This bottle does come in at a heftier price tag. I know I kind of said I wanted to keep it more budget friendly, but for a double oaked, keep in mind that it is actually more budget friendly. When I say double oaked, it is $60. Sometimes double oaks can be up to $80, $90, $100 even, depending on that proof point. Because of this 93 proof point, that double oaked for the 1910 is going to come in at the $60 range, which I feel like is a great value for a double oaked bottle. And moving on to the final bottle here, it's going to be none other than our Wow bottle. And what I mean by Wow bottle is something that if you have somebody come over, new or old, it's going to be a bottle that you break out and immediately everybody's going to be like, love it. I constantly love it. Or if they're just trying it for the first time, they're going to be like, I love it. Because everybody that I talk to about this bottle is definitely a home run on it, especially with the value. And that bottle is going to come from the fellas over at Jim Beam, and it is a Knob Creek 12. This bottle is very, very baking spice friendly. It's got cherry and vanilla on the palate. It's got a great mouthfeel, and it's a 12-year-old product. Something that is 2 years older than Buffalo Trace's rare bottle of Eagle Rare, sitting in at 10 years, even though they've got the 12-year out now. This Knob Creek 12 is one of the most fantastic bottles to have in a budget. It comes in at about $70, however. But if you keep the mindset of $10 per year of age, that is a great value, because considering that this is 12 years old, that would be $120. Meanwhile, Knob Creek is keeping it around that $70 MSRP range. It is going to be a little bit harder to find because it is very, very sought after, I should say. But it is a very good bottle, coming in at 100 proof. It definitely drinks and tastes way over that 100 proof. And I said drinks, but it doesn't burn. As a matter of fact, this definitely burns way more than what I think this is, and this is only 1 proof higher. But Knob Creek just has those baking spices, and like I said, the cherry and vanilla on the palate, especially on the nose. The vanilla comes fully through on that. But yeah. So guys, that's going to do it here. But definitely the top 5 list is something I feel like needs to be budget friendly, and that's why I chose these bottles in particular. Some of the prices you may look at and be like, $70. You're talking budget, but when you think about other 12-year-old bottles, those are going to be a little bit more expensive. And then there's rye. Ryes tend to be more expensive as well. So this sits around $45, maybe $50, depending on where you live. But yeah, these are going to be the 5, even though there's 6 here, bottles that I feel like every at-home bar needs to have on their shelves. So do me a favor, in the comments, let me know what you would change, or if there's some style of bottle that I was missing. Definitely let me know. Until next time, guys, Skol.